What's up, guys? Even though you're not a mechanic, I think that it's important that you have a clue about how your water pumps work, because the water pump is an essential component in your car. And before considering taking your car to a garage, you need to be able to troubleshoot your water pump. Okay. In this video, I'm sharing with you guys how your water pump works, and some signs that will help you troubleshoot your water pump as well. Okay, guys. So I hope you will enjoy the video. Okay. All right. This is a water pump, but this water pump was directly mounted on a generator. I know that you are used to vehicles water pump, I mean cars water pump, but this one is a Perkins water pump that was directly mounted on a generator. Okay, it might be slightly different, but they actually have the same function, right? All right. Now what does the water pump do exactly? Now the water pump takes water from the radiator and moves it through the motor back to the radiator, where the cycle begins again. And the water pump, the thing is, the water pump, it makes sure that um your motor remains at a constant temperature no matter the weather. No matter if it's cold or hot, the water pump, it needs to make sure that your engine remains at constant temperature. Now the thing is, in most vehicle, the engine the engine gives motion to the water pump by a belt, through a belt. Now here we don't have a belt, okay? We have a gear. So for this water pump that we have over here, the turning motion of the engine give its motion through that gear. So when the engine start giving motion to that water pump by this gear, the thing is, the turning motion creates suction, okay? And that suction is going to pull water from the radiator, and then and then when the water reaches the water pump, right there exactly, centrifugal force is created in this part, okay? And then when centrifugal force is created, the thing is, um it flows the water, and the pumps out the hose and drains that water and drains that water to the engine block by, I mean, through this hole, okay? And then as the water start making its way in the engine, it will reach the cylinder head, and that water will drain back to the radiator, where the cycle is going to begin again. So the water pump is an essential component in your car, and then that water pump, it helps your car stay at a constant temperature. And let's say that your water pump is broken, then your car will eventually overheat, and we actually want to prevent that from happening. All right, guys. Now, what are the signs that you have a bad water pump? The thing is, if you have a bad gasket, let's say that your gasket has eroded, like, this is the gasket. Let's say that you have a bad gasket. Now, you will have some sealing problem. So the gasket won't be able to seal the water pump whip hole, and then you will start seeing water leaking in your water pump, right? Okay. And then you could have a let's say you have a broken bearing. And when you actually have a bearing that has eroded, what you could see is that you could note a greeting noise. Yeah, you might note a greeting noise. And then when you actually note that kind of problem, it will eventually mean that your your bearing has eroded or has some kind of problem, you know. Okay, and when you have a problem with your water pumps, or eventually if you had a broken component in your cooling system, the temperature warning light is on in the dashboard. Okay, so that light will start glowing. So that's it. And then since you want to service your radiator, so every time you are going to service your radiator, you should probably check your water pump. Okay, and then if you want to know how often you should check your water pump, or eventually how often you should service your radiator, you should check your owner's manual, because you will, I think that, yeah, you will find whatever you need about how often you should service your radiator. And every time you are going to service the radiator, you should service the water pump as well. All right, so if you notice some, I mean, those signs in your car, or eventually if you have a radiator, if you have a generator, so you if you are not able to make the troubleshooting yourself, you might want to take your car and bring it in, so that a mechanic could diagnose the car for you. Okay, so I think that's all for today, guys, and I hope that you actually have a clue about how the water pump works. And if you have any questions, just ask those questions in your comments. And yeah, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. And then see you guys. Ciao.